Hi, we're Eric, Leigh, and Josie.
We're the mobile correspondents of As We Eat, a multi-platform storytelling project exploring how food connects, defines, and inspires.
Our bellies are full. We've had our coffee and tea, and we are headed out of Galveston and up to Lake Charles in Louisiana. We've spent quite a bit of time in Texas and have enjoyed every single minute of it, but we're ready to move on, and so Louisiana, here we come. One of the things that we discovered about Lake Charles is that it is the head of the Boudin Trail. So we're going to be trying some Boudin, and maybe we'll share a recipe or two with Boudin or making Boudin with you. So stick with us and we'll see you in Lake Charles. To Louisiana last night. We stopped at a little pizza joint in Lake Charles called Crust and had a really delicious pizza. We stayed at the Veterans Memorial Park, which is right on Lake Charles. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful park. It's a beautiful memorial. It's raining today, so unfortunately it's kind of a drizzly day to get out and do a lot. But we are on our way to our first stop on the Boudin Trail, Boudin Trail, and that's right here in Lake Charles. So stick with us and we'll bring you on a Boudin journey. So we're at our first stop, which I think is pronounced Sonyas. We'll find out when we go in. It is a family-owned business and has been in business for a long time. Okay, so our first stop at Sonyas, which we were right, was really fabulous. It is family owned. The father has been working in this industry since he was a kid with his uncle. This space itself is only 12 years old, but again, they've been doing this since he was a youngster, and all of the family works there. We got, what kind of again?
This is a spicy, and then smoked. This one has pepper jack cheese in it.
We also got cracklins, and they threw in a couple of beef sticks for us too, which was super nice, and a lot of recommendations as we're traveling through Louisiana. All right.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's good.
So Boudin.
It is said as Boudin.
It's a Cajun sausage, Cajun inspired, and it is pork and rice. Some of them have liver in them, which is very different. And like all recipes, there are so many different varieties how these are made. So Yeah, so now it's my turn. I want to see. It's really, really good.
Seasonings are really well balanced. Spicy.
It isn't like a sausage you expect when you eat a sausage. The meat is minced up with the rice and the seasonings, and it's really delicious. And you generally don't eat the casings. So we're at our second stop, which is Gillis Meat Market. It is in Moss Bluff, Louisiana, just about 15-20 miles from Sonyas. They actually recommended that we stop here. And we got a smoked and a regular, so we're gonna do a little taste testing again.
It's good smoke flavor, that's for sure. Definitely good. Wow, this is perfect on a cool day like this, drizzly. Okay, your turn.
It does look like it's got more rice in there. Feels a little bit more ricey than the one that we had at Sonyas. Still delicious, just a very different texture. Like I said, everybody has a different recipe for these things. So our second one from Gillis Market is just it's just the regular Boudin.
So I'm taking the boys to Boudin.
So not smoked. It has a very different texture, a different flavor from the first one that we had at Sonyas. It's very good. Now the Gillis Market also does processing of deer. They have quite an extensive list of meats that they provide. They do rabbit, ribeye, shrimp, sausage. Their prices are amazing. So if you are in Louisiana and you're looking for some pork or a ribeye steak, I would definitely stop here to pick that up. And the Boudin is delicious as well. All right. So
on to the next.
we are on to the next stop, which is in Iway. Not Iowa, because that's a state. Iway is a city in Louisiana. So this is our third stop on the As We Eat Boudin Trail, and it's Inlaws Cajun Specialties, and it's in Iway, Louisiana. And we got the regular and a smoked pepper jack again. So we'll be able to compare these against Sonyas. All right, first one. Very good. A lot more oniony than Sonyas. Kind of the same consistency of Gillis Market. A little bit, like Eric said, a little bit drier feeling. It's not like it's dry overcooked. It just is a drier texture. What do you think?
It's definitely good. Get a lot of black pepper in this. I don't get as much of the pepper jack cheese flavor.
No, I thought that was a smoked one.
That's why, because this is just
There's no pepper jack.
This is just a regular. This isn't a smoke. This is a regular. Next is our pepper jack.
Very good. Again, just a very different texture from Sonyas. A little bit drier. The smoke is really good on this. Really good on this.
Definitely get the cheese in that. It's got a lot more pepper in it. Spices.
Again, it's been really interesting to taste the different spice variations in each of these.
Yeah.
Because every one of these places that we've been to sells their spice mix. I'm sure that, like, we all have different taste preferences. Every one of these chefs also has a different taste preference and has put their spice blend together based on that. We also had to get some Zapp's potato chips because these are the potato chips of Louisiana. I'm gonna say that. I hope I'm right.
They're also her sister's favorite potato
They're also
chips.
my sister's favorite potato chips. So we had to do this to you, sister. Again, regional. So interesting. The differences in even the potato chips. All right, so this is our third Boudin stop. I think we're gonna head to someplace down the road.
Ultimately, we are headed to Baton Rouge today. I believe it's either in Scott or Duson, if I'm saying those correct. Probably not. We'll make those adjustments when we get there and
Somebody schools us.
somebody corrects us. So we'll see you a little bit further down the road.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So we are at our Boudin number 4. This is Rascals Cajun something or another. It is a truck stop in Duson. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And let's see. Sun has come out and it has gotten really muggy.
It's very muggy.
So they only had regular Boudin.
We were too late to get the smoked.
But we did get a Boudin ball. So I'm gonna get to try that one. And they had chicken cracklings, which we've never had. So everything is made fresh here. So we're excited to see how this goes. I'm gonna jump right into this Boudin ball. Oh boy. Looks like a giant fried ball of tastiness right there. Damn. Okay. That is really good. That is very rich with the brine. Woo! This one will sit with you a little while.
All right, so this is the regular Boudin from Rascals. It has a much milder spice than the Sonyas or Gillis. Well, maybe it's coming a little bit late, the spice is. These are super, super, super moist. Very good. If you're,
it's got some spice building up, some heat on the back end.
Yep. So if you're in Tucson, Louisiana, I definitely recommend stopping here to get a Boudin.
Just off the tin.
And right next door is a huge crawfish supplier. We might run over there and see if we can't get a couple of crawfish. Because we clearly have not had enough to eat today.
And if we don't, I'm sure we're going to have plenty of opportunity for some crawfish. We did see some really cool crawfish farms out here. Use a fan boat to harvest. And then they also have, looks like a paddle boat. And basically just trolls you along while they pick up all the cages. It's pretty cool.
All right, I'm going to try one of these chicken cracklings because it just sounds delicious. That is really good. I expected it just to be like the chicken skin, but it's actually got a little bit of meat attached to it. It's got a really nice spice as well. Recommend the chicken cracklings too. I think our next stop is in Lafayette. Yes? Or Scott?
I believe it is in Scott. which is just north of Lafayette, looks like on the map. And slowly making our way east. So,
All right.
stay tuned. Boudin number 5. So we are at Billy's Homemade Boudin and Cracklins, and we looked out. We got ourselves some crawfish boudin. So, and we got one of Billy's boudin. So we will find out what Billy's is all about. Looks like we're getting into the crawfish boudin first. Ooh, smells like the sea. This one's pretty good.
Oh, it does. It's very, very, very fishy.
Okay, I've had it. Okay.
Ooh, very shrimpy, crawfishy, but also that kind of spicy paprika, maybe.
Looks like it with the color. Definitely some orange to it. That's good.
Obviously, very different than the pork boudin.
The rice is a lot softer. So
The spice is really awesome.
very good.
Definitely a must-try if you're in Louisiana. Try the crawfish boudin.
I think about a half of one of those is about all I could do.
Yeah, it's pretty rich. Okay, now on to Billy's boudin. And you will notice that we have changed up our pronunciation of this specific sausage because apparently the pronunciation changes from town to town.
Yes, we were discussing it's been Boudin, Boudon, Boudin.
This is really good. Again, very, very, very moist. And the spices in this are really good. I can't tell if there's maybe some jalapeno in here. Maybe?
That is really
It's
good.
really good. Billy's is definitely on the list to go to. We have been so fortunate in this whole episode of Boudin. There hasn't been one that we have not liked.
All right, so I think we've got at least one more. That's probably about all I can do today. Might have to walk to the last one.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys at the next Boudin stop.
We are on our 6th and final Boudin stop. We are at Don's Specialty Meats, also in Scott. Regular, smoked.
This is really yummy. I know that Don's has won the best Boudin for the last 9 years. It's delicious.
That's really good.
This one's a lot more meaty than the last couple that we've had. The heat comes a little bit late, but really nice balanced spices again. And as long as you're in Scott visiting Billy's, then you should probably hop over to Don's because it's yummy. Next up
Is the
is
smoke.
the smoked.
Looks like our casing has split, so
Oh, man. Very hot.
yeah.
Like
I'm gonna-
temperature hot.
yeah, no, burn your face off. I smell it, but it's very mild compared to the others. The smoke.
It's also very tasty.
Mm.
But a very, very mild smoke compared to the others that we've had that were smoked. With this smoked, I would eat the casing. And from what we read, you do just kind of push the meat out of the casing rather than eating the casing, and we found that the casing on the regular ones that are not smoked, they're a little bit more difficult to chew, and it's much easier just to kind of squeeze it out like you do toothpaste. But this smoked one, the casing's pretty tasty.
Still leaning towards Sonyas.
I think, yeah,
for
Sonyas. Number one, and that might just be because that's the first one that we were introduced to.
Yep.
And the folks were so awesome to
Yeah, their
us.
hospitality was amazing.
It was really great. But again, we have not had one that we disliked that we thought was just not edible. So
No, it will all get eaten. So we will see you on the next adventure.
we're headed to Baton Rouge.
So we'll when we get to Baton Rouge, we'll start planning our next leg of the trip. Till then, see you on the next adventure. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us on our tasty travels. Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can see where we are next and what tasty food we've discovered. See you there.
If you enjoyed this video, let us know by hitting that like button. It means a lot to us.